Welcome to the Ravencrest Memorial Library. I've been waiting for you. There's a kind of hush over the West Wing tonight. Few visitors venture into this part of the building after midnight. The witching hour is when our most unusual volumes reveal their secrets. Listen to the rain beating against the stained glass, like skeletal fingers trying to get inside. The library breathes differently at this hour. Some say the books whisper to each other when no mortal ears are listening. Perhaps tonight, you'll hear them too. Follow me through the wrought iron gate. Mind the threshold. This section houses our collection of the esoteric and macabre. Manuscripts claimed from estates whose names history has tried to forget. Some still bear the wax seals of their original owners, unbroken for centuries. The air is different here. Do you feel it? Heavy with secrets and forgotten knowledge? These volumes have been bound in materials I dare not name. The library acquired them after the disappearance of the Blackwood expedition of 1887. Their final journal entries speak of a temple whose architecture defied Euclidean principles. Here we keep our collection of Edgar Allan Poe's works, not just his published stories, but his personal letters, his annotations, and one manuscript the world has never even seen. The first edition of The Raven contains marginalia in Poe's own hand. See how his quill pressed deeply into the page here? As if the words were trying to escape his mind. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal dared to dream before. This pocket watch belonged to Poe himself. Listen to its uneven rhythm, like a heart beating beneath floorboards. Some claim it keeps perfect time, but only during dark hours. His story, The Mask of the Red Death, seems almost prophetic now. The Prince's Abbey, sealed against the plague, the revelers believing themselves safe from mortality's grasp, and the life of the ebony clock went out with that of the last of the gay, and the flames of the tripods expired, and darkness and decay and the Red Death held illimitable dominion over all. In this alcove, we keep the works that blur the boundary between reality and dreams. Jorge Luis Borges and his impossible Library of Babel. His conception of an infinite library containing every possible book ever written. Some visitors claim this very wing of Ravencrest shifts its geometry after dark. Corridors appearing where none existed before, shelves rearranging their contents. You asked about Isabel Allende. Her House of the Spirits seems to whisper even when closed. Allow me to recommend her lesser-known works, the way she weaves the supernatural into the tapestry of reality, making ghosts as tangible as flesh and blood. She was already in the habit of writing down important matters, and afterward, when she was mute, she also recorded trivialities, never suspecting that 50 years later, I would use her notebooks to reclaim the past and overcome terrors of my own. Between these pages, you'll find spirits that walk alongside the living, memories that materialize and fade like morning mist, characters whose passions transcend death itself, much like some of our longtime librarians. Now, for something special. Our medieval collection of memento mori and danse macabre illustrations. This 15th century manuscript shows death leading all stations of life to the grave. The Pope, the Emperor, the laborer, the child, none are spared the dance. Notice how death smiles the same smile at each victim. The illuminations still gleam with gold leaf after 6 centuries. Camille Saint-Saëns visited this very collection before composing his symphonic poem. These are his original notes. See how frantically they're scribbled? He claimed to hear the xylophone of bone striking bone as he studied these images. And late at night, when the library is empty, some say you can still hear fragments of his melody echoing through these very halls. The danse macabre appears throughout literature, in Poe's Masque of the Red Death, in Gabriel Garcia Marquez's 100 Years of Solitude, even in T.S. Eliot's The Wasteland. Through these works, death becomes not an end, but a transformation, a doorway between realms, much like our library itself. Now that we've spent some time together, I feel like I can trust you with something unusual. The Ravencrest Grimoire. The founder of this library was rumored to be more than a mere collector. These pages contain rituals for communicating with those beyond the veil. These sigils were drawn in inks mixed with unusual ingredients. The text seems to shift when viewed from different angles. Sometimes, I swear the words rearrange themselves overnight. Would you like me to read a passage? When midnight crowns the sky with stars like scattered thoughts, when shadows pool like ink in forgotten corners, when the veil between worlds grows thin as parchment, speak these words with lips untouched by falsehood. I stand at the threshold between knowing and mystery, between flesh and spirit, between now and forever. Open to me the library of all souls. Perhaps it's best we return this to its hiding place. Some knowledge is meant to be glimpsed, not possessed. Now, let me prepare the volumes you'll take with you tonight. The collected works of Poe, I think, Isabel Allende's House of the Spirits, and perhaps this anthology of magical realist short stories. I'll note these in our special register. Your library card number? Today's date? Remember, these must be returned on a night when the moon is full. I'll wrap each in protective cloth. Some say it's to protect from moisture. Others believe it prevents certain texts from influencing neighboring books. This black ribbon will bind them securely. Your literary companions are prepared for your journey home. Be mindful as you read them after midnight. Some claim the words shift when read by candlelight. The characters may visit your dreams, but don't be alarmed. That's simply their way of thanking you for liberating them from these shelves. If you hear whispers from the pages when the book is closed, or you find notes and margins you don't remember writing, return here immediately and ask for me by name. Not all stories are content to remain fiction. Mind the third step on your way out. It creaks to wake the dead. And do come back soon. The library always recognizes those who appreciate its special collections.